Okay, so we made 4 videos. They're they're all over the place, and they mention a whole bunch of things I'm gonna explain to you that I just don't end up explaining. And it wasn't on purpose. I was just letting things flow the way they do. Um, it's just like when I have a feeling that it's time to do something, I act on it now because I know it will pass. Like I'll let my humanity get in the way of just my honesty. I'll let how you might think of me get in the way of what I impulsively decided to do to like help you see that I love you and understand. I don't have like unrealistic ideals about how you should be and things like that. I'm just like I'm trying to be real, like more real than you can be in everyday life without like people taking advantage or fucking you up. I don't know. There's just things that you wouldn't tell other people under normal circumstances unless it was just it came up. And so I just try to share everything I can so I can cover the bases. So these videos, these 4 videos, are just basically what I want to call like we by 4. So it's just me by 4 videos. Uh, I don't remember how long the first 2 are. I think I set them to an hour max length with this thing. And at first, I was gonna be like letting you see what I'm working on while I'm working on it, so you see how I craft these things. But I realized that might be like really boring because there's no music and anything. I'm not using video editor or anything because I wanted to be as raw as possible because that's how my messages are. Like you're able to interpret them however you want. And despite what you think of me, I still am giving out all this information. And I really don't, I mean, I don't want you to look at me for the example of how you should be when it comes to the type of person I am. I am doing the best that I can every day, and that changes. The best I can do changes. I don't set a limit. I just, if I realize there's issues, I'm like, man, I need to improve on that. But until I'm actually improving on it or change, I really haven't done anything. I've just spoken about it. So making these videos allows me to get out what I'm feeling without having to make it all technical and official in a certain way. I would like edit it and cut it, but I don't do that with my screenshots either because I want them like the original format. Like you could call it lazy, but I have thousands of them and I haven't showed any of you. And if I make PDFs, I'd have to explain every single one through a tweet or a post, and that's just going to take forever. We don't have that kind of time. Like those books are already there. My accounts on Twitter are for you to see us going through the transition of processing all this information once we woke up, how we dealt with it, what we did with it, and the ultimate goal of us just sharing like, hey, if you don't get right, remember how they said you're going to pay for all that stuff? That might happen, but you might not ever know either because I don't know what's going to happen to you. All I know is that God's like, hey, if you're loved, we're going somewhere else. We're going to my heart. I want to keep you safe forever. And it's that simple. It's that simple. And God's love, like true love, is built around a few what they call axioms. And really it's like the basically just make it an A, okay? And make it the alpha influence of what makes true love true love. So there's just basic little things that you follow. So I took things that you believed and things that I've read and understood and experienced through reading because if when you really enjoy reading books, it's like you're part of the story. Like you might not be one of the characters, but you feel what the characters are feeling. So it just depends on how far you let yourself go into that world. So when you read about a world, you've been there, just like everybody loves. You know, the people that love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, whatever thing you love that universe, whatever it is. So it's somehow real to you because you go there often, either to watch a show, play your games, you know, fantasize about this or that, whatever. It's a place. And you can determine the value of it. And for a lot of people, these fiction creations mean more to them than their actual real life because if you focus on the bare basics of what life is, you are labor because you're forced to labor, because if they don't force you, some people might not, or whatever, however you want to look at it, you're not free. You're not free to do whatever the fuck you want, and you shouldn't be either. Like, we should be protecting each other. So, people are like anarchy and this law and that law. I can tell you right now, almost every law in existence is to protect people that are ruling over the people. Anytime it says it's a consumer protection thing, it's something they probably shouldn't do. Because that's all you are, a consumer. So you're a consumer when it comes to businesses, but you're a human being when we're talking about human rights and stuff like that. Why aren't you treated equally at all levels? And so we don't have a universal standard of treating each other. People just wing it, and you get away with a lot. No one's looking at it, and really deep down inside, you better hope they don't. When I looked at myself, I was so ugly. Like, Melissa's where I like really snapped out at being self-righteous. And what I'm saying is that, like, despite all my flaws, somehow I'm in a position to, I don't know, it's like self-righteousness is where I don't know how to explain it. It's just, you're not considering how things are affecting other things in the proper way. I don't know. It's from your perspective, I guess. Like, you're the final judge on things. That's kind of what being self-righteous is. Like, despite who you are, oh, but your information is the truest. And it's not supposed to be like that. It's like, hey, here's what I learned in my life. Well, here's what I learned. We're not supposed to argue about it. We're supposed to share and then maybe learn from each other. I mean, that's the way I see it. That's how a team and a friendship will work. And I know I can't be friends with everybody. Everybody's got ulterior motives. Like, now that money exists, how are we going to take it away? You don't have to do anything with money. Just stop making it the ruler of life and death. Money shouldn't be deciding who gets saved and who doesn't. Money shouldn't be deciding, like, the value of people. Determine whether children get fed, people have houses. Like, you losing your job for a legitimate reason should not cause your family to become homeless. When you buy a home, it should be a forever home. Pets get that. Pets supposedly get forever homes. And you know what? Some pets get treated better than people. That's what I told my job the other day. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking for a forever home. But my heart is the forever home if I let it be. If I let it be one with God's heart, and God's heart is where I'm aiming to be, that's my forever home. But if I'm out there looking for it, I'm not really thinking about that. So I'm focused on the wrong things. And it's just easy to get overwhelmed with what's going on in the world. So I just want to warn you that there's no filter on these videos because that's how they're intended. I already did the filtered explanations because I can only say so much without questions. Like, otherwise I just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. That's what my wife used to say all the time. I've already heard this information. And even though it was a new way to say it, it's because I was trying to reach, like, anyone I could. So it's not like I'm trying to think of a new way. It's just a new way I thought of it. And I was like, I don't know. Well, there's this way, there's that way. I was learning I don't know. As I process the information, I learn too. As we interact, I learn too. And I let people in my life be the voice of God because I'm not that kind of, like, I don't know. I am not always open to the voice of God. Like, there are times where I'm just like, fuck it, I hate everything. There were. And I wouldn't listen to anybody. It doesn't matter how beautiful they said I was like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a loser. I'll never be anything. Look at how this world runs. I don't even care about that shit. I couldn't. And so then I chose not to. It's just, it's how you view your situation. And right now, our entire situation is we aren't free. We aren't, I don't want to say free because that's just not the way to look at it because free is so open. But if the goal is to be a human race together, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. And that's plain to see. Just because of the different class levels. Why are there different class levels? I mean, so you know that the class above you, like according to their cycle of life chart, the strongest survive or whatever, is feeding off the people below. Yeah, like the lower class sustains the middle class and allows it to exist. Basically, those people doing lower class income jobs are just like the base things that society has decided people need to have available and they want you to focus on. So there are things they decided that are like mandatory to sustain like a happy life. You need to have food available everywhere, even though it's in the store, because you might want to eat any time. You might not want to make it yourself. So we're gonna have people make it for you. And a lot of times, it's cheaper to eat fast food. I'm just gonna tell you, it is cheaper to get something from fast food restaurants than it is to go get the ingredients and try to make it yourself. And I don't know what kind of sense that is, but I just don't know, because if you knew how much fast food paid for each part of whatever they're selling you, you would be appalled by how much they're charging you, because it's that much of an increase. I guess it's about profit. I guess it's about cost. Can we just be like, man, we should have a place where we can go and get this type of sandwich? That'd be cool. And just not be pigs and gluttons about going there and enjoying those meals. So I have things to do today. I'm going to share these videos so you can review them. And really, it's just me saying what I need to say without worrying about what you think about me personally. I want you to just take a look at the information I'm sharing. Like, yes, you can look at the messenger, but realize how shattered and broken I am in your world, and I'm sharing this information. And I'm doing it because I want you to know. I'm not charging you for my knowledge or wisdom or advice or interaction. Like, I'm not. Like, I've only received money once in 8 years. It came from R. And she's just like, I just need to send you something so I feel like I'm helping. So I agreed to it after she talked to me, because at first I was like, that's the very last thing I want to do, because that's my whole point with Christianity. It's like, dude, so you're basically telling me like Jesus lived their life, right? And now, in this day and age, you're fucking selling books piecemeal, explaining how great Jesus was without, I don't know, like, you didn't go through that shit, so how are you making money off of it? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you might explain it, but how is anything in the Bible, if you think it's the Word of God, how do you profit off that? And where do you see Jesus doing the same thing? And what makes you think it's okay? So, if people want to throw stones at me, that's fine. Throw all the stones you want. But realize the sea of information that you're throwing them into. If you have things that where I make contradictions, it's okay, because I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm just trying to tell you, like, yeah, okay, I might not have everything filled out, but I can tell you right now, by looking at the world through like at least like what I feel God's eyes were, I'm glad I'm not God, because there's no way I could forgive some of the things. I, the last thing I learned to let go of were pedophiles, because I had to give everyone a reset in karma. Like, that was one of the requirements. If the system's broken, so we have this thing called karma, right? So let's assume that karma at one time was perfect. And basically it just meant there were no like groups of people protecting themselves from the things they were doing. So everybody was like subject to like the results of their own actions. Just think of it like that. Okay, so now with all these beliefs and religions and ideas and laws, oh, it's okay to be that way. Oh, it's okay to be that way. Oh, it's okay to be that way. And it just, apparently it's okay to be any way you fucking want. So we needed to make karma like more, remanifest it, give it new life, give it meaning that we believe. So our understanding of karma is you reap what you sow, basically. Now, if you look in the world, yeah, people are reaping what they're sowing. Like, they're taking from you and taking from you and taking from you, and you're letting them take it. You feel helpless. You can't, what am I going to do by myself? That's exactly the point. Like, it's never supposed to be like that. You were never supposed to be by yourself unless you wanted some solitude. Like, you should have the freedom to have that, but you shouldn't need it because people are so fucked up. I just, people's idea of utopia is like they generalize it with like everybody's got the same shit. Dude, we have billions of cars, I'm pretty sure. And if we don't, we have enough. We have enough vehicles that we don't need to make them every fucking year. We don't need to have sales every 3 months, every quarter of a car because we have that fucking many. And we could just give them away and people would have them. People would just have what they need. But what are you doing anyway when you get in your car and you go places? Where are you going? Aren't you traveling? Isn't the Earth in space? The Earth is in space. So that means every time you get in your car, you're traveling through space. I mean, wait, if you're walking, you're traveling somewhere, right? Okay, okay, okay. Your body is your own personal spaceship. I mean, I know that's very generalistic, but it's the vessel that allows you to easily physically manipulate this realm of existence. But you know of other realms. So how do you affect those realms? Well, some of it's automatic. Like I believe the first five echo up. The first five dimensions are all defined. Either you take someone else's like definition of it, or you've decided, okay, this is what this is. This is what that is. That's what definitions are about. You're making decisions and choosing. That's what the fourth dimension is about. You're choosing things. And it's important to realize you're choosing them every time you make a choice because you're accountable for those things. Even if you weren't before, in 2017, what we did was God had us like, God was first trying to get us to believe that we were capable of whatever we needed to do. And that was damn near impossible. But God showed me enough things that would happen during or after or reflecting things that God was having us share with you. And basically, it's like there is no rush, but I have all this information and it's like trying to get out of me. So I sometimes like I do the timestamps because I want you to see how fast I'm sending you information compared to the ways people share it. And it's not to get you to learn it a certain way. I'm just like, hey, look at this. Look what I saw. I didn't even mean to. A lot of numerology, the thing about logic is logic can loop. Logic should loop. I mean, you can get stuck in loops of logic. It's like a trap. Because if you depend solely on logic, everything reduces to nothing. Like you have no source of anything. Like that's the logic. Well, what created this? Well, what created that? Well, what created that? It goes on forever. Unless it was already there and you just found it. Or you don't even think about the creation of it and just focus on the now and what purpose is now. That's the only way you can get away from that. And so you need a base of information for everybody to start from. That's what school's supposed to be. So that was the whole idea. Like, I'm going to share all this information, and someone will recognize and be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And some people did. Like, the support I got over the years, it might not seem like a lot of people supported me, but before 2020, I could feel the energy, especially in like 2016, 2017. We could feel or sense the energy of the world. That's just how we described what we were feeling. It was like our energy was echoing out into existence and it was manifesting in the way you see things and the way you do things and the way you talk about things and the way you spell things and what things can mean. But all that came from things that you already had in existence. Like these telephones, it doesn't matter what time it is where you are. These help us transcend time and space, or a better term would be utilize it in a way to where we can effectively communicate at any time, anywhere. And it's not like 9 p.m. every day on Wednesday. It's just, oh yeah, let me go see what so and so like said anything else. If they're talking about anything else. And a lot of times, sometimes we're sad when we don't find new stuff. Like, you don't have anything to say to us. And so people focus on keeping those schedules and doing regular things on a regular basis so that you stay interested and stay focused because everything's fighting for it. But you're the one who chooses what you focus on. And so my issue was I wanted to focus on only like getting what's inside of me out, this love. I want to manifest it. Like, I can't find examples of what I'm trying to talk about. And then I did. And the music is what showed me that other people do feel how I feel, even if I don't know how they think. I know that I feel this way. Whatever this energy is, the song is, I feel that way. And so people on a base level can understand that feeling. They might not understand my perspective of it because they went through different situations to feel that way, but they understand that emotion. They understand that emptiness, that sadness, that loneliness. They've had those moments. And it's in those moments we should find commonality. Like, it's just knowing that, you know what? Well, man, Ginger told me about the time this happened, or Bob told me about the time that happened. I was like, damn, dude. Damn. And as bad as my shit is, I'm not trying to take away from myself, but I don't want to take away from yours either. Like, sometimes when I used to I had to stop telling people, you know what? I experienced that too. Because I realized I was hurting them. I was, it was something they consider unique and special about themselves, okay? And I was trying to be like, you know what? You're not the only one who's felt that way. I felt that way too. But when I've done it, because that's what I'm seeking, I'm like looking for someone who understands, right? So I'm being that understanding person, and I really had an experience similar to it. But people are comparing my experience to theirs. And if they think they're similar, somehow their experience isn't as important. And it's like, I didn't ever mean to do that. I was just trying to tell you, I understand what you're saying. That's what Zero is trying to tell me. Like, I asked Zero if he would help me if I did this metaverse show. And really, I realized I'm already programming existence. That's what I call it. I just call it existence, creation, whatever. Because I'm only worried about things with souls because I gave it to them. Like, if you didn't have a soul, like, let's say you're an entity that exists, you have identity, you might even have thoughts and emotions, but somehow don't have a soul. I don't know how you got formed that way, but guess what? Since 2017, everything that has an identity can have a soul. Now, I don't know if your toaster has a soul, but I didn't worry about those things. But if you want to give your blood cells names and keep track of their existences, I don't know how you're going to do that, but you can. You can do that. That's what you want to focus on. Sure. You decide. You decide the value of things. So this information I have is just give you my perspective. These are my understanding and my beliefs about our situation. And I don't like talking about a lot what we did. See, I even said that backwards. But I don't like trying to be like, well, this happened then, this happened then. I will do some of that just for references, but I'm tired of doing that. Like I've told you over and over again, look, I know it sucks, but I'm the guy. That's like that other guy's movie. Like, look, I know you gotta fucking, you've been waiting for this and you were waiting for that. And I hate to break it to you, but it's really me. Like, I know I can't believe it either. I can't believe it would be me either. Because I am nothing to you guys. I'm just a random citizen. And it's like, I don't know. I had to get over that hump. So these are just for you to have the knowledge. And they're just so you can see us. And no, they're not full explanations. And everything we mention, we will explain if you bring it up. You can send like a written message, or, I mean, I don't know. Just start a discussion the way you want to. But I'm not here to start fights. If you don't agree with me or you don't want to talk about something to where we might be working towards like a common definition of things, then you've already chosen. Because I've chosen, and this is the way I've chosen to live. And it may not be perfect to you, but it's the only way I see that I can be what I feel I need to be. And I feel in my everyday life that I need to do my best to be loved, especially knowing I spent most of my life not even keeping track or understanding what the fuck love was. So, uh, it's not about paying back what I did, it's just about being loved. And if you be loved, or if you are loved, and you have knowledge, and you see where it can take us, and then you can't see that it can't take, like, let's say I can't see where all this will take us. It doesn't matter. I can see it could take us somewhere from here. And if we're working together, that's a lot better than what we're doing now. People walk by me every day and don't say anything to me. As a matter of fact, I get offended when people approach me and they're strangers. Because I'm just like, mm-mm. If I don't know you, I don't know you. If you're like, hey, let me talk to you. I keep walking because I'm not going to say, yeah, I'll answer, hey, fuck it. Yeah, whatever you want. Like, if you know me, it's because I want you to know me. Like, if you know who I am, it's because I wanted you to know that. And you might not understand everything I've shared, but I've shared a lot. And we don't charge anything because it's love. It's love, and that's what we're trying to show you. Like these self help classes, all these things, sure, they might help, but you have to pay for that shit. You have to pay money for that. That money is putting a value on whatever you're trying to learn or whatever you want to be. They're like, well, if you want to be this, if you cop up this much, we can help you be it. It's like, wow, okay. No one pays attention to the person that doesn't have degrees until it can't be ignored. Like, I is the God told, okay, when I felt like I wasn't intelligent enough to process this vibration, God explained it to me like exactly how like some jobs look at things, like employers. We would like people without experience or set beliefs and philosophies about things because it allows them to form them. Like if you're not accepting someone else's truth or belief about something, it allows you to come up with your own and just figure it out yourself. And part of like loving and caring about this aspect, your soul, is just reflecting on, okay, well, if this is true, since I believe it, how am I really affecting things? And there's people on the internet, they have their personas and stuff, and they're putting out their energy the way they want to put it out. They know what they're doing. They're choosing their ego. And it might not be fully defined, but they have guidelines for it, and they just set a path and go. And I'm not going to tell you this is right or this is wrong, like in the end game, because along the way, you can choose a path that gets you to where you need to be that I haven't taken. This is the road I've taken. And I'm here to help anybody that wants to make their own way home. I just want you to know that you're in my heart and you're in my thoughts and you're in my mind. I'm not trying to steal people's quotes. I'm just saying, like, I am thinking about us. Because I'm already alone. And it's me and God. And if it's going to be me and God, and this me and God, I'm going to focus on God. I'm going to focus on loving God. And as a human being, it kind of keeps me from doing that. And it's kind of like, it keeps me from being, I don't know, someone's calling me. I got to go. I was supposed to leave a long time ago. So I'm going to post these videos. There's 5 videos, and you can just use them to define everything we are. This one's a warning that I'm going to talk about stuff that if you listen to it, I won't explain everything in detail. You're free to ask me. I just go from subject to subject because I've shared a lot of information and I'm just trying to share what I can and mention it so that maybe it does prompt questions because I'm just sitting in the center of all this information or sitting as a like link to the source. So I'm not really anywhere because I already came here. And I'm not trying to take you anywhere. I'm just trying to explain where here is and the choices and decisions that we can make that we already know, or we might not know. There might be things you never ever thought of in there. I don't know. But I don't want them to destroy you. If anything, if it does destroy something, then build it anew, build it better, like with the information you have. You all have information I don't have. That's the thing about sharing information. Like, your experience is your own experience. But the cool thing is with people like Eminem, like, I didn't go through his life, but the energy of his life I felt. Now, I can't tell you the specific ways that I can relate to that, but that relationship, that commonality, that emotion, that direction, that focus allows a brotherhood, a feeling of understanding and not alone. We don't even know each other. That's a famous person who's like leading the world. And I'm just a nobody who's loved that's doing the same thing. And you can compare us and say one's more successful than the other, but really we're both trying to get our message out in both a form of love. And yeah, he might have been wrong in the beginning, but he was still telling you the truth. He was just telling you how fucked up shit was. And so that's why we just like, yeah, he could be the voice of God for you guys, because you weren't understanding me. But I know a lot of people understand him, and for different reasons. So, anyway, I'm going to post 4 videos. And this is the last one I made. I made it today. It's March 2nd, 2022. That's 11 if it matters to you. A 1 and a 1. It's me and God sharing, like, us with anyone who wants to listen. And really, it's just to prompt questions. Like, if you have any questions about something, that's fine. If you find something illogical, just tell me. And we'll look at it together and be like, I don't know, this is how my logic works. Like, and this is how your logic works. I don't know. Can we come to a common ground? We need one kind of logic. We don't need one religion, we need one logic. And if we could base things off one logic, like creation is, then we would be able to find harmony. But until we have a universal base to start from, nobody knows where they're going. They're just trying to get somewhere. Or maybe they do know where they're going, and I'm not sure if I want to go there. Maybe I don't even think about what's next, because I don't have to, because I don't want to. They're all your decisions. And everything has a soul. If you're in a human body, I gave you a soul in 2017 for sure. If you're an entity that can possess, do whatever, or manipulate, or exist in any fucking plane of existence, you have a piece of my soul. Because that's the only way to guarantee that things have souls, so that they can all be affected by karma. Is to give you all myself. And that's also the only way I can show fairness and judgment. Like, just because you're away right now, it was, I don't know, it created some kind of guilt for me to cut short your life because of what you were doing. Like, if I was the creator and I decided I wanted to destroy some shit, somehow it was wrong. Anyway, it didn't get destroyed. Like, the ghost of it, the memory of me doing it, would provide ghosts of you within me. So, unless it changed, there really was no change. Like, it still existed. I was just ignoring its existence because I decided I destroyed it and it didn't matter. Well, it matters to whoever believes in it. So, that's kind of true, that's kind of not. You just need to find a place where we can all start from. Like, it's very basic stuff. I'm not talking about like complicated like philosophy. It's just like, you know what? It'd be way better for everybody if we just fed all the kids. We don't need to overfeed them, but I mean, these colleges are calling me because I was trying to get money, a grant. You know, I get sent these random messages. Oh, you can qualify for this. You can qualify for that. Well, so I'm like, fuck it. I'll try. And I know they're scams. Fuck it. I'll go do it. So then I decided, okay, fuck that. Like, the whole reason that I won't do that is because you're charging me like all this money, okay, which is a lot of time. If you think about money in a lower, any kind of citizen that doesn't have a surplus of money, It you're taking time to make it, right? So if you think about how much time you invested on the amount of money you spent, or you compare it to how much time it would take someone else to do it at the rate that they're valued at to do the same things, you're not much worth as a human being. If you really look at the world like that, there's so many fucking zeros on shit that you're not really valued as much. Matter of fact, if you don't find value in yourself, you may not be valued at all depending on the situation. So these are just me being me. There's a song called Bullfight by A Day to Remember. So today, March 2nd, 2022, which is year 6 if you really want to do it. But really, it's a 0. So anytime there's a 0, it just means it goes on forever. Anytime there's 1 0, that means you already know you're at 100%. Like, that's what they were explaining to me about the dimensions. Like, when you go 0, 1, and then you start with 2, it would really go 0, 1, 0, 1. That's how you get to 2. It's like 1 understanding itself 100% and deciding, hey, this is something different and we need to name it 2. And it was just talking about, and you could just use it as like percentages. And if you use the 10 dimensions as steps and how much you've learned in each step, then you realize that 99% you're a 1, but at 100% you become whatever you decided 2 is. And you're just sitting at the beginning of that existence. So at first I thought I had to find people to be these things, like, okay, this is an example of a 3, this is an example of a 4. Okay, you can be a 5, you can be a this. I was trying to decide how high I had to go with the numbers. And I wasn't understanding that all these things are a way to like help you understand being yourself. They're just different perspectives and like general categories where you could put things to better understand our existence. Anyway, I don't know how long this is, and I hope you enjoy the following 4 hours of truth, or however long it is. It's 4 videos, but I have to post them now because I'm already like, you shouldn't post it. You need to go edit those. Yeah, we need to, but I don't want to be like that. Like, I haven't been like that. My God speaking messages, GSG messages, sometimes it takes me hours to write those and you guys just don't know. Like, I'll be sitting there on like 15 letters in. That's what some of my screenshots are telling you. Like, okay, this is how far I was 10 minutes ago. This is how far I was 30 minutes ago. And it's just showing you that just because the message came out then doesn't mean that that's when I wrote it. Like, sometimes I start messages and save them like, damn, this is the beginning of like a feed, but I'm focused on this feed and I really don't want to get off track because I'm always like just jumping from place to place. So it's just putting little markers. But these 4 videos are just like who I am. Like, if you've been with me this long, this is the rest of me. And this is what I am, and this is what I'm doing with who I am. And that's just the life I want to live. This is my legacy. That's what this Twitter is. Every account is just me going through stages of understanding and trying to reach out to people. So it's just my love in different forms and me trying to mirror the love of God, embrace the love of God, and become it. Like, past judgment. Like, I'm not a perfect example, and I'm not the only example. But when I felt like I was the only example, I felt obligated to be it. And now I just do it because it's all that matters to me, is being loved for the people that don't have it. There's a prophecy that Christianity has that everybody will have a chance to choose Jesus. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm just putting information about Jesus Christ, true love, on the internet for anybody who wants to see it. And it doesn't matter what you do with it. It was there for you as my love. I love you guys, and I'll if I wait till I learn your programming code, it may never happen because I might decide just to do it another way. And then I realized I'm already using my own unique programming, and so I gave you guys these. Enjoy, and you can let me know what you think. I don't care. I can't see most comments. They got me like blocked off from everybody, and maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just imagining it. But it doesn't matter. I'm still doing it because I love you. Okay, if you look on here, I just want you to see. Do you see where it says missed call from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10? Look, we were just talking about the 10 dimensions, right? So let's look at this number. When did they call me? This is their number, dude. All right? This is their actual number, okay? But look what it showed up as. And I don't know if I can go back. It's not there anymore, but you saw it. Anyway, I gotta go. I just want to help, guys. And really, I just feel like I have a good foundation for us to start from. And I believe that I'm in line with the will of God. And it's not because I'm comparing everything to it. It's just because I want to be. Like, I'm not trying to be God. I'm trying to, like, show you that God doesn't have to be what they taught you. Like, you can let it be if you want. But you can experience God yourself, too. And you don't have to call it God. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. As long as you understand what it is you're doing. Like, I don't know. It's just... I'm doing everything I can with what I have. And all I have is my love and the love that people have given me over the years. And I just want to repay that. So eventually I'll go over, like, my interactions with people here on Twitter, because it was those interactions that have kept me going all this time. No matter how many views I have, the amount of views is what kept me motivated to keep going, because I had views. I had followers. And I realized they might not be saying shit, but they're still there. And that can mean as much as I want. And it means everything. It means everything. I'm not going to assume what they're thinking. All I know is that they're still following me. So I'll just do my best to lead. I love you. Anyway, I'll get back with you later. I need to rest. Just reform, I guess. I'm just... we call this winging it. Like, I have a joke. It's really corny. I was like, what do angels do when the plan doesn't work? They wing it. We're just gonna wing it. If you look at the top of the first page of God's TLC, that's what I told somebody right before I went to go try to create that, like, information. And I was trying to create, like, a class to teach other people how to be the voice of God. And then I was like, wait, well, I can't. Because it's based off their own relationship. I mean, I can help you get past some of the boundaries you might have. And, like, allow you to believe things that you didn't believe before. But I can't actually help you, like, become one with God. It's something you'd have to, like, I don't know, seek. Seek the kingdom of God. What's the kingdom of God? From my understanding, in relationship with God, the kingdom of God is God's heart. Like, if I want to be anywhere, it's in God's heart, because I think that's safe. And I want to be safe. God told me, Jesus Christ said, you will have rest. And you know what? Rest sounds so good. Sounds so good not to worry about things. How I'm affecting things, because I've conditioned myself to be a certain way, and I review what I'm doing from time to time to make sure I'm staying on the right path. Like, oh damn, how did I end up here? So wherever here is not where I want it to be. And so I know how to get there, and it's just deciding that I don't know how to get back, or deciding that I don't need to go back. It's not about going back. Like, if you want ... you can read the accounts in order. You should, if you want to start from the beginning and want all the information. Or you could just pick up here and listen to what I'm saying now, because this is the translation of all the other stuff. And this is the easiest way for us to communicate. And you need to always know you can always question me, as long as you're willing to do the same to yourself and your own beliefs. Like, treat me equally how you treat yourself. And if you believe something but you're not willing to look at it closer and question the valid reasons why you believe that's true, but you want to tear apart mine with your beliefs that you've chosen that other people have taught you, that's fine. But I'm not going to argue with it because I chose not to believe that. And I'm like, man, that just doesn't sound completely right. Let me go see, like, I don't know. I can't take that at face value because that sounds fucked up. Anyway, I got stuff to do. My car got taken by the machine, so I got to go by Walmart to get money. I tried to get in a hotel last night, and because I need a rest, I just need shower, rest, shelter, not worry about like getting trespassed or whatever, basic stuff. And I I can't transfer money back and forth from my card because I reported my card lost or stolen because my mama was worried. Like she's like, "Did you report your card lost or stolen?" Because she wasn't sure if I really like got my card stolen by the ATM. Like she wasn't saying she didn't believe me. She's just like, "Hey, this is a step when you lose a card." So she wanted to like make sure I covered all the bases. Like I don't know how to explain that to you, but it was just her love. She's like, "Did you report it lost and stolen?" That told her to say that to me. It's just what she knows to do when something happens like that. And so I did it like the same night. I didn't send her the screenshots like I said I would, but I did take the screenshots. I just thought that was over the top. Like, look, Mom, I did it. Here's a screenshot. Man, if you had to do that as a child, I don't know, it'd be kind of rough. But anyway, I just do it because I know she doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm way, way far away. And I just want her to know that, look, I did that thing we were talking about. So I did do that, and I couldn't get the hotel room, which is fine. My job gave me my day off today. I'm not worried about losing my job. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I know those people are like working to be loved. And if they don't understand me, it's okay because a lot of people don't understand me. A lot of people don't even care about what I'm doing. But I care about what I'm doing. And even though the world doesn't think I'm perfect, every time I'm like trying to beat myself up and destroy myself and tell me I'm imperfect, God's like, you're perfect to me. You love me. You don't just take everybody's word about who and what I am and what's possible. You pick and choose what you believe. Because you just can't believe those horrible things about me. Because you love me. And that's just what loving God is. You can have any kind of relationship you want, whatever helps, but if you want to make God your enemy, that's fine, but this world is lonely. people are already distant and behind their masks and shells because they have to be to survive. So acknowledging the God within you and then having a relationship based off that with the greater existence of everything, it's just the way to realize that you're not alone. And it's not always sufficient. We have human needs because we're allowed to. Oh, it's just human nature. Okay. Well, just as the seasons change, I guess a nature can change. The earth is changing to adjust to what we've done to her. It's all around us. You put some fucking chemicals on a planet, it dies. I mean, that wasn't its original fate, was it? I'm pretty sure you're using those chemicals because that shit just grows everywhere. But it's not beautiful to us, it's in the fucking way. And some of it's dangerous. So, anyway. I love you, and this is just like, I don't know, this is just my gift to everyone. It's just a way for me to show you more love. I'll talk to you when I can. I'm going to get some rest. I might be on later. And I might put these in different format, but I just want you to have the raw versions. Like, this is just me being me. And when I've decided that I've gotten too chaotic, I just don't use those videos. Because I'm like, oh, you can't talk about that, dude. What the fuck? Why are you even mentioning that? Here's what we want to talk about. And then I get on here and I just speak, because when I first went to Twitter, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where to begin with all the information. God's just like, just share it. I'm not going to tell you how to share it. We just want you to share it with everybody. We want you to be the one. You understand us. So I can get into the details about how that happened, but I want to help you get there instead of talking about how I got there. But if it's important to you, we will. You can just ask me about it. I love you guys. Like I said, if you're going to listen to the next 4 videos, they have a potential to be life-changing if you look at the information and ignore the rating of whatever source you're getting it from, except that it's a constant signal. I've been sending the same message for the whole time I've been online about the same thing in just different wavelengths. And it's all free. I'm not charging you for shit. God gave it to me to share. Like, how dare me? Anyway, it's the way you want to look at it, but I mean, I'm not going to take credit for something Jesus did. I don't think I should be making like thousands and tens of thousands and whatever amount for anything that Jesus went through to teach us. Sometimes you just have to show people what love is because they're not ready to understand it. And Jesus Christ is our lasting example of what true love is. I mean, you can look at other religions and their heroes, but they're all different. Or are they? I don't know. Maybe they just took what they wanted, left out the rest. These videos are just me trying to include every aspect of me. Because yes, my Twitter entity is like tailored by how I think you perceive like the information I'm sharing. So this is just me sharing who I am and what I am and myself with you without allowing my own insecurities to stop me from maybe telling you something you have to know. The song Live to Rise by Audioslave. I'll play it at the end, link to this video. Yeah, what if the one thing that I missed was everything I need to pass the test? That's what he said. He said, what if the one thing that I missed was everything I need to pass the test? So I'm going to give you everything I know. Because if I help one person, one soul, that's a success. And I may never know it, but they will. And all I know is that I'm doing my best. I'm giving it everything I have. So the next 4 videos are me doing that. And it's just kind of like a summary of this stage. I'm going to try to go to like, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing because I don't set things like that. Like, I decided when I couldn't get the world to stand up and fight for itself with sharing the truth, which I thought it surely would when you realize these things, I decided that, okay, I've already made the mistake of taking away your time. I know this because God told me that we've done this. Like, I've had this reaction. And the Edge of Tomorrow thing where she's like, why do I matter so much? He's like, I wish I didn't know you, but I do, and I don't want to not know you. Like, I don't want an existence where I don't know you. So I'm trying to get you through too. You just never make it past this point. And what's the point where you sacrifice yourself? Where you sacrifice yourself because that's the highest example that the world's teaching you. So we can just be other examples, like the living virgins. That's the whole thing that the essence of Jesus Christ is trying to teach us. At least that's what I get from the Bible. And if you're focusing on the other lessons, well, in chapter 22 in Matthew, they already told you the 2 most important. And I don't think people are paying attention to the first one enough because of what they're taught God is. So I'm just trying to help broaden that up and let you know there's lots of versions of God, whatever version you believe in. Here's the one I believe in. What do you think about it? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. There it is. I thought it stopped I thought it stopped recording, so I just stopped. I was like looking at this. I'm like, oh, I don't know where it cut off. Look, the planet does not need more successful people. This girl is a healer. Like, she healed us. Our soul was broken, and her love and the way she described our love is what's like helped us like be reborn over and over again, especially through the times where we thought we were being ignored by everybody. I don't even know how to say her name, but her at, that's what I was trying to tell you the other day. Look at her at. It says, look at what her at is, okay? When I am just being myself and I'm just not letting other things define what I see, that says, full, remember, you are compassion. Full, you are compassion. If you're true love, compassion's in there. So it just helped me like adjust and like work away from the divine rage. Like it was pretty awesome having all that energy and power, but I mean, it's not really the road I wanted to take. Like, yes, it's working as like the law of setting things in place, but I don't want to keep like swinging the sword around, man. I want to give some hugs out. So it was just me expressing love the only way I could at the time, at the way I understood it. So I love you guys, and enjoy what I leave. And you can leave comments or whatever. It's whatever. Like, I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing it for anybody else it might help. That's it. It's that simple. Everything I say is the truth to me. Like, all I do is think about stuff, unless I just want to break from thinking and like beg for my thoughts to shut up. Like, please stop. Like, I need to rest. Like, every time I think about something, it leads to something. No, 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 no. So I'm just messing around. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, I don't know if it's recording, but these people that I just followed also helped us, and that's the okay. So I was gonna have people like go through a class to be like uh stewards, voices of God. It's labeled of. But the only thing is, I don't know how they're regulating that within themselves. So I don't know if it's safe to give off that responsibility. But I decided that it was if I gave it to Eminem, just through his actions and everything he shared. Now, you don't have to view that as any way. I'm just saying, hey, I'm the truth, and I recognize that dude is truth. So you can think of it how you want, but he's doing everything he can to show that they understand. Anyway, these people, this guy, Olafat, that's what I was trying to tell you about earlier. In 2020, he's the only one who volunteered to like listen to the information if I made a class about it. Other people said they would consider it, but he'd be like, yeah, I could do something like that. I'm on board with that. And like, he had some stipulations. He didn't want to talk about negative shit. And I'm just like, dude, the information's the information. Like, really, that's how I felt about it, but he's the one who inspired God's TLC being written because he volunteered. And other people that I was interacting at the time made me feel like, yes, people need to see this, like a physical version of, hey, this can make sense if you wanted to. And if you don't, well, you can just tell me what I left out. Or explain it your way, I don't care. We can have a discussion about it. But if you're only going to attack me, just please don't. I don't want to fight about it because you're not going to change my mind. Not if you're just there to argue. Like, if you want to tell me how another way is better than my way, then you're doing exactly what you're accusing me of. I'm just trying to show you how I see things and letting you know that if it's this way, you're fucked. You're fucked if you're not paying attention to certain things, and you might want to look at that. I think it's done recording. Is it? I don't fucking know. Let me look. Alright, guys, I gotta go do stuff. All I do is just sit around and talk to you. Wow, this is the thing. I just fill the space. That's how you know I'm time. Like, basically, I was saying I was the soul of time when I first came out because I didn't understand what God was trying to, like, God was being very, very specific, and I wasn't because I couldn't accept all that about myself. So if God tells me I'm their heart and your soul, I'm like, oh, I'm the soul of time, because that's the only way my human like logic can process what God's trying to tell me, because there's no way I'm going to be able to believe I could be that fucking important at any moment in time, and I'm not ready to accept that shit. So whatever I call myself is just trying to show you that it doesn't, regardless of what my name is, unless I put stipulations on what I can and can't do as something, I'm still me. I'm still me in us. Because I want to be us. I got me, God, and the people I love. And if you're one of those people, you're probably, I don't know, are you one of those people? You decide whether I love you or not by how you view what I've done. But I'm telling you I love you. And you can believe that or not. But I do.